365 Sports.
The Kansas City Chiefs are starting their final Wednesday practice of the 2025 season, but with 2026 just a day away, I thought it'd be more intriguing today to go back into the mock draft simulator, find some cool picks out there, and depending on what we find, make a mock draft video. And I tell you what, today we found a very, very cool mock. I think this one is actually exciting. There's a lot of things to be very pumped about, and we're going to do it here today on the Chiefs Report. Welcome in. I'm Jace Andrews here on 365 Sports. Hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day wherever you are, spending the final hours of 2025 with family and friends. And man, I'm excited you took some time to spend it here with me today. Or if it's already 2026 where you're listening, or when you're listening to this, Happy New Year, my friend. Hopefully it's filled with lots of joy. Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and their upcoming NFL draft as we look at their current draft picks as it stands right now. They have a round 1 pick, a round 2 pick, a round 3, and round 4, and they have 2 round 5 picks. Now, it's the number 9 pick in round 1. It's the round number 2 pick 8, but number 40 overall for round number 2. Round 3, it's the 10th pick in round 3, but it's the number 74th pick overall. It's the 109th pick in round 4, the 9th pick in the round, though. And then the 8th pick in round 5, which is 147th. And then the 38th pick also in round 5, which is the 177th pick. And so, obviously, the big one is the first pick we want to look at, round 1, pick number 9. I have some interesting takes on these, and I understand this is not going to be a normal Chiefs mock draft, but you can find a lot of normal Chiefs mock drafts on the internet, and I want to do something different. So we're going to do something different. Let's first talk with my first round pick at number 9, and it's an interesting one, but I'm going to go with one of the linebackers of the year in the Big Ten. I'm going Sonny Styles. Now, this may be a tad bit of a reach if they stay at number 9. If they beat the Las Vegas Raiders, well, then they could move back, and this pick would make maybe a little bit more sense. But a lot of people have him as the top linebacker in the draft, and I see why. Looking at his time from Ohio State, he's fantastic. He reads the ball well. He knows the skill positions well, and a lot of this comes from him being such a good on, both handling the pass and handling when to go and rush the quarterback. If you look at this year, 81 total tackles. He has 3 passes defended and a half sack. But back in 2024, 100 tackles, 5 passes defended, and 6 sacks. And so I'm sure you're sitting there wondering, saying, Jace, why did his stats go down this year? I'll tell you why. When I watch film, it's because they're not going at him as much. They're not going at as much. Now, he hasn't played as much as last year as he did too as well, but the games will come and the stats can improve. He's just not getting thrown at. Like, he has legitimately been the best linebacker, forgetting the Big Ten, maybe in the entirety of college football. And so for Sonny Styles, he's a very highly touted guy. A lot of the drafts, mock drafts, Mel Kiper, ESPN, all these things have him as the first linebacker being taken in the entire draft. And so with that, I think this is actually a very good pick for the Kansas City Chiefs to go out, acquire somebody who is such a good mind in football. His IQ is literally otherworldly. I swear he knows where to be whenever it has to be that way. And I really do like a lot of what he brings. I know it's an interesting pick. I think on linebacker. Why? Well, the reason is there's choices they'll have to make with their linebackers. Leo Chenal is a free agent. In my opinion, there's just going to be more money out for him somewhere else than what the Chiefs can offer him because of their cap space. You replace him immediately, and you replace him with a guy who pays way less and for 4 years. I love Leo Chenal. I'm not trying to sit here and say they shouldn't sign him. I just don't think they can. The money is just not there for them, being already so much in cap debt that they're going to have to restructure contracts. They're going to have to do a lot, and they can save a lot of money. They can get up to about $30 million on just some easy moves. And at that point in time, they could spend some of those, obviously. But I don't know if Leo Chenal is going to be the price that they want and a part of that deal. That's just my opinion. It could take a different turn. And in that case, if they do, and if free agency happens before the draft, they have Leo Chenal at that point, we know what their draft strategy can be from that point on. And that's going to be where we kind of have to look at the way the Chiefs look in that time. And for a lot of ways, the way that the NFL looks at that time. So now we go to the round 2 pick. This is, again, the 8th pick in round 2. It's the 40th pick overall in the draft. I'm going to go with a defensive lineman. I'm going to go with Christen Miller. Now, Miller is a guy out of the University of Georgia. And yes, I have taken this draft a little bit more defensively just because I have the sneaking feeling that Coach Spags might not be here next year potentially. Either way you slice it, Miller is a very good defensive lineman. 1.5 sacks in each of his past 2 years, 20 tackles and 27 tackles. The big thing for him, he gets a very high pressure rate. And I know what you're thinking, Jace. That's the exact problem we had this year. High pressure rate, no sacks. Why does this guy make any sense? Why does he add into it? I'm saying, well, he's 6'4", 305. He's a guy who you line up next to Chris Davis, or what am I saying? And you're in your very good spot. Like, you're in a Chris Jones and him would be in a very, very good spot, like very good. So I do think that the overwhelming theme of the first and second rounds, I've been so much of getting a running back and getting somebody in the cornerback room or somebody in the offensive line maybe, or figuring out that. Again, that's why I said in the top of the show, this is not going to be your everyday normal draft, because I wanted this to be different. I wanted this draft to not exactly look like the others. Christian Miller has a lot of intangibles that I think are good. His frame, his size, his stature, his pressure rate. If you can get more pressure and get the sacks next year, you're in a great spot. Your pressure rate was one of the highest in the NFL. You just couldn't get the sacks. Miller gets the pressure rate, and usually it's his teammates who get the snack ahead of him. If you look at his highlights, he's getting pressure rate, and it's not like he's not getting the quarterback. That's not the problem, like the Chiefs have. He's getting back there, but one of his teammates is already there. And in the second round, finding a guy like him, like very underrated, and I feel like it could be a very, very good person to have. Now, again, we go back here to the Chiefs draft selections, and we see that they have a round 3 pick. We're going to go with the 10th pick in round 3. That, of course, being the number 74th overall pick. And I'm going to go get a cornerback. Now, there is so many questions on the Chiefs and whether or not they're going to keep Trent McDuffie, pay for him. There's obviously questions on Joshua Williams, Jalen Watson, their contracts, and lack of contracts, I should say, going forward. And this puts you in a spot where if you get a cornerback, again, we know how well the Chiefs and Brett Veach have drafted cornerbacks in the past. You talk about guys like, Trent McDuffie, might I add. Also, L'Jarius Sneed. I mean, there's just been a bunch of cornerbacks that have come through the system that have done well. Noah Williams is also a guy that I like. And so, I want to get him some more snaps if they aren't going to pay Williams. So that's something to put in there. But overall, Davison Igbinosun is the guy that I'm going to go for. He is an Ohio State Buckeye, one of the more underrated cornerbacks on this team. I always like in mock drafts to go for the big teams at times, just because if you look at them and say, okay, you can get a depth option from Ohio State, or you can get the top tier cornerback from West Virginia, odds are the guy from Ohio State has got the more intangibles. And Igbinosun had played with Ole Miss in his first rookie or freshman season, having 36 tackles, 16 assists, 5 passes defended, and it just improved upon from there. 2023, 59 tackles, 5 passes defended, 45 tackles in 2024 with 9 passes defended. And then in 2025, he had 42 total tackles with 6 passes defended. He has great intangibles, 2 interceptions in each of the past 2 seasons. And you'll kind of notice a theme in this draft. I'm picking guys that have the intangibles, and maybe the stats aren't the most impressive things, but they're relatively good. It's because I believe in the Chiefs staff to grow these people. I believe in the Chiefs staff to go out, add them, make them better, and, in some ways, have them become players that they should have become in college when they had the right coaches, so they were the right staff and people around them. So that's obviously a very huge thing with that, is just knowing that they are going to get better. They're going to get to a point where you really do trust them. You really do. And so I'm hopeful that that can be the way this works out. And I've continued to say that I'm picking intangibles, and the first 3 rounds are definitely that. But after that, it's going to be a little bit different. And I'll tell you all that when I come back here in just a second. This is the Chiefs Report, part 365 Sports. We'll take a quick break and be right back here.
Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
I need to get real excited.
Sure.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Sheridan Vasquez, and this is Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions. And I will be interviewing some of your favorite musicians and maybe some you've never heard before. Join me on Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions for something new every time. You can find Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemediamusic.com. Yeehaw. And keep the music playing.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. Turn your passion into profit? With Blogify, creating a blog has never been easier. Build, customize, and grow your site with powerful tools designed for beginners and pros alike. Start sharing your story today and watch your audience grow with Blogify. Visit blogify.ai today for a free 3-day trial. That's Blogify, Blogify.ai today. Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Stay connected no matter where you are with eSIMX. Say goodbye to expensive roaming charges and physical SIM cards. With access to over 200 global carriers, we make mobile connectivity seamless and affordable for travelers worldwide. Join the future of communication today at eSIMX.com. That's ESIMX.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Easy Sun has been living fearlessly under the sun since 2016. Born from sailors' need for convenient sun protection, our mineral sunscreen is crafted with natural ingredients offering broad spectrum protection against UVA and UVB rays. Safe for your skin and the environment, stay protected on the go with Easy Sun, your ultimate sun care solution. Visit EasySun.com today. That's EEZYSUN.com.
Welcome back here to the Chiefs Report, a part of 365 Sports. I'm Jace Andrews. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you might be here in 2025 as we enter 2026. We've got a mock draft that we've been going through here on the show. We want to continue on with that as we've gone through round 1, round 2, and round 3, picking Sonny Styles, Christen Miller, and Davison Igbinosun. You'll notice all defensive players. Does that change in round number 4? Yes, it does. I go with a running back finally out of Penn State, and I'm going to get Nick Singleton. Now, he has had a fantastic career at Penn State, but is kind of underrated due to a reason that I'm going to explain here. You see, if we look at his stats throughout his time with the Nittany Lions in 2022, he had 156 carries for over 1,000 yards as a freshman. Then his sophomore season, 171, but only 752 yards and 8 touchdowns as compared to 12 the year prior. Then back in 2024, similar stats, 172, but over 1,000 yards with 1,099, 6.4 average, and 12 touchdowns. And then here in 2025, 123, 549 yards, and a 4.5 average with 13 touchdowns. The touchdowns have been great throughout the entire time, but the yardage and average yards per carry have fluctuated. Why is that? Well, the reason is relatively simple. It's been different offensive linemen. It's been different teams. Penn State this season is not the same as last year. They were competing for a lot more things last year than they were this year with their, of course, John Franklin getting fired. There's so much that happened to Penn State that it just kind of unfortunately tanked the draft stock of Nick Singleton. I don't think he was going to be drafted relatively high in general, but it definitely didn't help him out for sure. And having 1,000-yard season in 2 of his 4 years this year, playing relatively well, it's a pretty good size and stature to have at 6 foot, 224 pounds. I think he fits well. I understand that most people would probably rather take a running back earlier, but I'm also of the mindset that in this world, in this mock draft, the Chiefs are taking a running back in free agency. They'll go out and they'll pay Breece Hall. They'll pay Javonte Williams. I mean, they'll get somebody in this scenario. Now, how likely is that? I couldn't really tell you. I can't really put that into perspective just because we don't know how much money the Chiefs are going to have. All right, final 2 picks here. 147, round 5, pick number 8 for the Kansas City Chiefs in this one. I'm going to go with a wide receiver, Kevin Coleman Jr. Now, he's a guy that you might be familiar with playing in a state very near and close to us in Missouri. Now, Missouri is a place where you expect a lot of good things to happen, a lot of good things that you would hope for SEC caliber. And, well, 66 catches, 732 yards, 11.1 on the average, 1 touchdown. Then in 2024, 74 receptions, 93, 932 yards with Mississippi State, 12.6 on the average, and 6 touchdowns. He's played at 4 different schools, Jackson State, Louisville, Mississippi State, and Missouri. So he's been kind of all over the place. And that is something that is intriguing to me just because he's performed at each one of those. He's done some very good things. And I think in a lot of aspects, you are excited to see what you could make out of that. Now, at 5'11", 180, he's an interesting guy to have. But again, I think with wide receivers, you're trying to get guys in the later rounds because you trust your top-tier talent. And you're trying to maybe develop guys in the quote-unquote earlier rounds. I don't know what you want to call that, and build them into highly touted, high prospect level guys. Now, the final pick of this draft is going to be round 5, pick 38, 177. I like to make this a fun pick always. I understand this might not be the most logical. However, he was there when I was looking through the mock draft simulator, and well, I just had to do it. The round 5 pick here in the final pick of the draft, Diego Pavia of the Vanderbilt Commodores. 2 seasons with Vanderbilt, a Heisman contender this season out of Albuquerque. Had over 3,000 yards with the Commodores this season, 9.4 average, 27 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. We know the upset of Alabama the year prior, 177 on the completions, 298 with 2,293 yards and 20 touchdowns to 4 interceptions in that season. It's a fun pick. A quarterback is something that the Chiefs, I think, might be going after, and especially maybe one in the draft because they've had so many times where they have passed on getting a backup quarterback and found a Carson Wentz or a Gardner Minshew or whatever it might be, a Shane Buechele, and have just said, it's not going to matter. And if Mahomes gets hurt, maybe our season is done anyway. Maybe this injury of his tearing ACL might be a little bit more to put them in the mindset of, hey, maybe we should actually, care about our backup quarterback. And Diego Pavia, a Heisman contending guy, a guy who, say what you want about him personally. I know there are a lot of personal vendettas against him, but I do think he has a lot of things that you can be excited to watch for. And in my mind, it is an exciting thing. And the draft is always supposed to be fun. So I wanted to make it fun. So sue me if you don't like the pick. I get it. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's the best pick in the world, but I wanted to have a fun mock draft. I want to do something different. I was tired of doing the same. Get a running back in the first or second round. Do this, do that. Like the threshold of the way that mock drafts worked. I changed it up a little bit. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully it's something that you were happy to enjoy and listen to. But let me know your thoughts and let me know your mock draft picks. Do you want the Chiefs to go out and get somebody that I didn't mention or haven't mentioned? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. But for now, guys, that's where we're going to leave you. We'll see you in 2026, and we hope you have a great rest of your New Year's Eve. Peace out, guys.
365 Sports.